Number 8. The Law of Intuition. Applying the 21 Laws of Leadership to HBO's TV season Rome. Introduction. Rome is a TV show produced by HBO that is absolutely fantastic. It follows Julius Caesar through his journey from conquering Gaul to winning the civil war with Pompey Magnus. It has been a favorite of mine for over a decade. In this video, I'll be applying Law 8 to Octavian from the TV season. This will primarily be focusing on episode 1. Octavian is the great-nephew of Julius Caesar. He appears to be in his early teens when the series starts. Octavian has a natural ability to see before others see, and see further than others see. Number 8. The Law of Intuition. This comes from John Maxwell in his 21 Laws of Leadership. John is the best leadership teacher I've ever come across, and I find that he performs best in front of a live audience. We will start with 3 clips on the Law of Intuition from his original 21 Laws of Leadership presentation. After that, we'll watch 2 scenes of Octavian. Here we are looking to see the Law of Intuition in action. Then we'll finish with 3 more clips from John and his 21 Laws presentation from the second edition of his program.
Law number 8, the law of intuition. Wow. Of all the laws for me to teach, this one probably is the most difficult, but I love giving it a shot. The law of intuition says that leaders evaluate everything with a leadership bias. So let me see if I can teach this well, okay? By the way, the reason it's the hardest to teach is because the law of intuition of the 21 laws, the law of intuition favors the most the natural gifted leader. Let me explain it this way. All of us in this room are intuitive in one degree or another, in one area or another. Now let me show you how this intuitiveness works. You are intuitive in the area of your spiritual giftedness. So therefore, if you have the gift of mercy, you're intuitive about people that are hurting. You'll just sense it. You'll pick up and say, oh my goodness, I think they're hurting. And you'll run over and you'll minister to them. Isn't that right? Because you have the gift of mercy. You're intuitive in the area of your giftedness. You know, I don't have the gift of mercy at all in my life. So, I mean, I can go around hurting people and not have a clue. You know what I mean? Somebody say, well, you just killed him. Killed who? Killed who? So I'm not intuitive in that area because that's not a strong gift of mine. Does this make sense? If you're intuitive in the area of teaching, you sense when people are learning and when they're not learning. If you're intuitive in the gift of hospitality, you sense if people are relational and warm and with they're not. And if you're gifted in the area of leadership, then you're intuitive in leadership. That's why this law favors the naturally gifted person. The law of intuition says that leaders look at things through a leadership bias or through leadership eyes. In other words, they read people and read situations through the eyes of a leader. Let me show you what leaders read and sense real well intuitively. Number 1, people. They can read people very well. Number 2 is opportunities. Number 3 is the environment. They sense what is happening. They feel it. Number 4 is timing. They really do a good job understanding that window of opportunity, and they know the timing. They go in and out. Number 5 is motives. They can read the motives of people. Number 6, the future. They have a sense of what's going to happen. Many times they put their people in the right place so when it does happen, they're prepared. Number 7, they understand and read well the process. They understand what comes first, what comes next. They kind of know the 1, 2, 3, the strategic type of leadership, the law of navigation that we've already talked about. Number 7, and here's what they read real well, the placement of people. They know where to put the right people at the right place at the right time. They are good at placing people to give them success. Let me show you. The law of intuition, though, here's what's powerful about this law. It helps you to see ahead. It helps you to anticipate. You know that you do not have this law under your belt when you are continually blindsided. If you're the kind of a person that you're always being surprised, you say, oh my goodness, look what just happened. How did that happen? If you are blindsided, you don't have the law of intuition. The law of intuition is a wonderful, wonderful law to learn, because what happens is you can begin to anticipate, and people that have the law of intuition, they keep their organizations out of problems and trouble a lot more than people who lack it, because they just sensed it was going to happen. Okay. The proverb writer said, a leader of good judgment gives stability. An exploiting leader leaves a trail of waste. 4 questions. Question 1, do I continually get blindsided by people and events around me? Question number 2, do others think ahead better than I do? If so, who are they? Oh, this is good. You better kind of list the people that are kind of thinking ahead, because they probably have maybe more of the law of intuition working for them. And number 4, and I think this is key, do I rely on others to help me with their intuitiveness? Do I allow others to come alongside of me and help me? And then you evaluate yourself from a 1 to a 10.
Octavian scene 1. Here we see Octavian talking to his mother, Attia of the Julii. He is very shy. We see that he is also very thoughtful and insightful. He can sense the hostility between Caesar and the Senate, something his mother seems to be completely unaware of.
Do please don't lurk, Octavian. Come in. Don't be a goose. I've bought a horse.
Have you?
The best horse in Rome, by all accounts.
I'm very happy for you.
That's a gift for your great uncle. I want you to take the animal to Gaul and give it to him in person.
Why?
Well, when he's back in Rome, everyone will be giving him gifts. We must be first.
I doubt he will return to Rome anytime soon. The Senate's hostility will prevent him. Legally speaking, it is not clear.
Please don't start speaking legally. You know how it bores me.
It's a long way to Gaul.
Exactly. While yet a mere boy, you would risk your life to honor your beloved great-uncle. You ride into Caesar's camp alone on a noble white stallion. That's a gift he won't soon forget.
Alone?
Well, you have plenty of slaves. You'll be perfectly safe. And you'll make your mama very proud and happy.
So in that scene, we were able to see that Octavian's, even though he's in Rome with his family, he's starting to see what's going on between Julius Caesar and the Senate. This is a longer scene, scene 2, and we find that Octavian has become a prisoner on his journey to Gaul to see his uncle. 2 Roman soldiers save him from captivity. In conversation, he explains the hostility between Caesar and Pompey Magnus. The soldiers are shocked by his statements, but when they see Caesar themselves, they find out that all his assumptions are correct.
Be assured you will be amply rewarded for your services to me.
See how good he talks? He's convincing, I'll give him that.
Caesar will prove who I am. Take me to him.
Cannot do that as yet. We have orders.
What orders?
To retrieve Caesar's stolen eagle.
Caesar wouldn't pull a hair for his eagle. You're on a fool's errand.
If Caesar doesn't care about the eagle, why did he send us to find it?
It would look strange if he made no effort. Actually, losing the eagle is useful to Caesar.
Why would that be useful to Caesar?
Because Pompey is no deep philosopher. He will take a symbolic loss for a real weakness.
Explain.
Caesar doesn't want to strike the first blow against an old friend, so he wishes to lure Pompey into attacking him first. Pompey will only do this if he believes Caesar is weak.
No. They're as good as brothers, those two.
When Julia died, the last true bond between them was cut. Caesar has taken the love of the common people from Pompey, and that now is his most prized possession. A battle is inevitable.
Blue Spaniards.
Good morning, Uncle!
Octavian? One of Pompey's men. I misjudged him. I thought it would take strategy to turn him against me, but he must have turned the moment Julia died.
And all the while he was defending you in the Senate.
He has the cunning of a sardine, poor fool. The battle begins.
About time.
The law of intuition. Julius Caesar is also a master of the law of intuition. But Octavian is amazing because he doesn't have the insider knowledge, yet he is still able to see just as much as Caesar. Octavian does lack a bit in people skills, but his gift for strategy is very natural. Now we'll go to 3 clips from John Maxwell on the law of intuition. These are similar to the first set, but not the same. In the last clip, we will talk about how to develop the law of intuition if it isn't one of your natural strengths.
The 8th law is the law of intuition. And the law of intuition says basically, leaders evaluate everything with a leadership bias. Now, let me say something about this law, the law of intuition. This is so important. In fact, let me say this. The best leaders, when I shared with you on one of the other leadership laws, the law of process, about our leaders born, and I told you that some people are born with leadership leanings, let me just say this. Of all the 21 laws, this law is most closely associated with people that have what I call leadership leanings. If there's a law for, quote, the natural-born leader, it's the law of intuition and it's the law of timing. Because those are the 2 most difficult laws to learn. They're the 2 most difficult laws to teach. And so therefore, while I'm teaching them to you, I want you to understand, I realize I have a major task in front of me for the next few minutes. And the reason they're the most difficult to teach is because intuitiveness and timing are very subjective. And only people that have natural leadership bents naturally pick them up. So if you don't have natural leadership bents, you can learn to be intuitive, but it's going to be a long process. I promise you that. Well, let me give you the flip side for a moment. Probably no law of leadership puts a leader at an advantage more than the law of intuition. And let me tell you why. In the law of intuition, basically, it allows you, the law of intuitiveness allows you as a leader to see things and sense things more quickly than anyone else, and it gives you a distinct advantage of a leader. You're intuitive in the area of your giftedness. So whatever you're gifted in, you're intuitive in. And leaders are readers. They have the ability to read a situation. Why? Because they have some leanings in giftedness and intuitiveness in the area of leadership. So they see everything through the leadership grip. And what do leaders read and what do leaders sense? Since leaders are readers, what are they? Leaders are readers, number 1, of people. They have the ability to see people. not only just see people, but to understand where they are. Classic example, when I'm in a conference, if Margaret, my wife, happens to be with me, sometimes at the end of the conference, she'll say, you know, a guy came up to you in that gray sweater. What was he talking to you about? I don't have a shot. I don't remember anybody coming up in a gray sweater. I don't remember anything that anybody wore. And she'll say, you know, the guy with the gray sweater, you know, the guy with the gray sweater. I don't remember which guy with the gray sweater. Why? Because she's very color conscious. I'm not conscious. If I could figure it out, I could tell her who was that talked to me and basically what they said. But see, I'm a reader of people. I'm not reading what you wear. I'm reading where you're going and who you are and what you're thinking and where you are in the group of people. Leaders are readers of people. They have a sense of where people are and how people feel and how people think and how people are responding. They pick up on that. Their leaders are readers of opportunities. Oh my goodness. They see an opportunity coming. In fact, they're kind of amazed. They look around and say, doesn't anybody else see this opportunity? Am I the only one that's getting on the opportunity bus? And they are. They get on the opportunity bus, and everybody else, they're around the depot, you know, having a croissant, you know what I mean? They don't have a clue. They don't even see the bus. Leaders are readers of opportunities. Thirdly, leaders are readers of the environment. They have a sense of what's happening in the environment around them, and they can feel things. Number four, they're readers of timing. They understand the ebb and flow of timing and when to seize the moment as they can and when to let the moment go. Number five, they're readers of motives. They have the ability a lot of times to not only see what a person does, but have a sense of why they do it. They're readers of the future. I'm not talking about some kind of a person with a crystal ball, but they have a sense of what's coming around the corner. They can sense what's approaching and what's up in front of them. Number seven, leaders are readers of the placement of people. They know where to put people. They have a sense of what people's giftedness are. So they kind of say, I think they would maximize their potential in this position. And finally, I think leaders are readers of the process. They understand process well. They understand that it not only it takes a while for them to develop in a daily sense, but they also realize it takes time for people. And they can kind of look at people and know where they are on their journey and how far they are from becoming the leader perhaps that person wants to be. But here's what I know. Leaders are readers of people. And the law of intuition basically says that if you can be intuitive, you get a head start. If you find that this isn't a strength of yours, and many of you will be very frustrated with this law because it's a little bit subjective, I would just suggest a couple of things to you. One is find an intuitive leader and hang out with them. Because I have found that if you hang out with an intuitive leader and ask them questions about why they did this or why they said that or why they went there, that many times they'll give you a read of how they can see things. And if they give you a read of how they can see things, they'll begin to teach you to see those same things. I would say, secondly, also, is lead out of your gift mix. Whatever your strength is where your intuition is. So therefore, for example, when you get to the law of navigation, if you're a good navigator, like Chuck is, it's very simple. What you do is you start leading out of the day-to-day navigating with people, and you'll find that you're very intuitive in that area. Stay to your strengths because it's in your strengths that you can lead people effectively.
Conclusion. You're most intuitive in the areas of your strengths. One of my strengths is futurist, so I'm very intuitive in being able to see the future. Another strength is maximizer, so I'm very intuitive in being able to spot top performers and how to take them to a higher level. I believe that the best way to improve your intuitive abilities is to first understand yourself better. My favorite method for this is personality tests. Below, I've listed links to my favorite personality tests. As you learn your strengths and weaknesses, you will become more intuitive. Thanks for watching.